Hello, my name is Carrie Hall. I'm the CEO of the Barbados Tourism Product Authority.
And I'm Marcia Allen, Guest Experience Manager with the Barbados Tourism Product Authority. And it's my awesome pleasure to welcome you this morning to the I Am Tourism campaign.
Yes, Marcia, we are so happy to be here today because, as you know, our mandate at the BTPA is doing tourism differently. Everything we set out to do, we seek to make it as innovative and as creative as possible. And this campaign, we see it as a transformational and a revolutionary campaign to take Barbados' tourism industry to the next level by involving, educating, and sensitizing the most important P in product, the Barbadian people. So we look forward so much today to sharing this information with you and taking you with us on this exciting and fascinating journey.
There's a new traveler with a distinct set of concepts and thought patterns which are totally different from the traveler of the past.
Back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, when the guests traveled, they were looking for completely different things, and tourism was easy in those days.
Yes, but it's changed now. The travelers change, the industry has changed, and we have to change.
We have to change.
And not only does everybody have a beach and sand, sea, and sun, but our rich history, our culture, our people, those aspects about tourism, we need to showcase Barbados, the total Barbadian experience, as what we are seeking to give to our traveler to ensure that we remain a competitive and much sought after destination.
And we remain relevant.
The visitors who come to our shores no longer view sun, sea, and sand as the major reasons for traveling. They want authentic experiences, value for money. They're very keen in terms of standards.
And we're finding people are coming to Barbados to become more immersed in our culture, in who we are, what we do, what we eat. They're getting on our reggae buses and they're getting involved. They're all part of the community, and that is what we want to do. It allows us to differentiate ourselves in terms of our cultural heritage from the other Caribbean territories, and that's how we begin to stand out, and how everyone now understands their role and how they can play a very meaningful part in this thing we call tourism.
Throughout the years, the Barbados Tourism Product Authority uncovered through research and feedback that Barbados' most precious resource for tourism is its people.
And I do not think that the Barbadian people know that they are the most precious and invaluable P in product.
But I think you're absolutely right. And when we do our workshops and we talk to our Barbadians, whether it's immigration, customs, Gaia, you name it, and we tell them that, they are completely surprised.
What we have been trying to do as a government is to get the point across that we are all a part of the tourism sector. We all play a role in the creation of this very special place called Barbados. So whether you work directly in the industry, or you work around the industry, or you work doing anything positive in Barbados, you are in essence an essential part of the tourism sector.
If our people understood that the reason why our guests come over and over, the reason why they choose Barbados over any other destination in the world is because of you, the Barbadian people.
I am tourism because I am a Barbadian, and wherever I go, I will always be a Barbadian. As a youth of Barbados, my job is to represent myself to the best of my ability wherever I go, as it plays a major role in forming others' opinion of my island. My name is Jada Delise Traveling Hope, and as Junior Minister of Tourism, my job is to encourage my fellow peers to be more involved in tourism, as it is the most important industry in Barbados. I am tourism.
Tourism awareness campaigns historically have focused on how important the sector is to the country Barbados, particularly from an economic point of view. But I think the beauty about the I Am Tourism campaign is that you're taking tourism awareness now, spinning it on its head, where it's not so much about a sector that other people are involved in, but it is a sector that you play a part in. And all of us are part of the tourism experience in Barbados.
Everyone benefits from the tourism industry. Everyone has a role to play within this dynamic industry. The coconut vendors, the frontline staff, the Royal Barbados Police Force, even our ZR drivers. You know, that is the element of our tourism industry which the visitors love.
The unsung heroes, the receptionist that is willing to take some of her guests on a tour through her community. That is what tourism is all about.
That's why it's so important that we remain the welcoming society that we have been for hundreds of years, Marcia.
So that means, Carrie, that what we need to do, we need to take this program into the schools.
To sensitize them to know the benefits of this industry and to always be mindful that we should know as much about our industry as possible. Go and experience the attractions. Look at our beaches in a different light in terms of cleanliness.
The adults also seem to have an issue in terms of having that gap of not knowing our history, our culture, our national dishes, you know, major attractions around Barbados. It may be Harrison's Cave, a signal station, and we make it a point to ask, why is it? I mean, you're an adult. Why is it that you've never ever been to any of our historic sites? Yeah. And the answer usually is because it's for the tourists. And when I heard that the first time, that really hit me hard. That hurt me to know that my Barbadian people actually think that the points of interest around the island are for the tourists and it's not for them. And that is where the disconnect we were speaking about earlier comes in. And what I've resolved is that no longer are we going to call them tourist attractions. Maybe that is the first problem. We're going to call them Barbados treasures. And Barbadians, this just shouldn't be for foreigners to come here and enjoy. We want you to enjoy it first. We want you to rediscover our beautiful country so we can then showcase with pride to our visitors when it comes to Barbados.
No longer should it be two Barbadoses where there's a tourism Barbados and a Barbados for the locals. We need to break those walls down. We need to demystify the fact that they are two Barbadoses, and that's why the I Am Tourism campaign is actually so relevant, so important, and so now. We need to have that campaign now so that Barbadians of all walks of life, whether you are here as a tourist, whether you're here as a resident, whether you're here as a national, whether you're here as a citizen, it does not matter. That Barbados is actually for every single person, and the I Am Tourism campaign is poised to ensure that there's inclusivity. We need our kids to understand how viable, how important, how crucial that they are to the tourism industry. In fact, we actually did Dighton Griffith School first, which was a blast. We were able to give the kids lots of information, but in a very fun, interactive way that they were engaged, but they went away learning a lot more about their country than they would have learned or they had known before.
I remember becoming overwhelmed with emotion. Just seeing all of those school children, just knowing that the BTPA has gone into the school, we have decided that they are an important component of this whole equation called tourism. And seeing, first of all, the uncertainty from the school children, that uncertainty very quickly transformed into euphoria. And to see how excited they became and involved, and it really showed me that it is important that we involve our youth. That is a component that we seem to overlook and we're making a mistake. But it shows me as well that once we involve them, they will receive us. Because they were very happy to be included, they were very happy to be a part of the whole proceedings, and the information they were receiving that they have never received before. It made us also realize there is a definite gap in the system.
We all know that we have our part to play as it relates to tourism, because I am tourism, you are tourism. So if, for example, a tourist asks you how to get to Dighton Griffith School, you won't tell the tourist, you're up on the highway bus and when you see a pass, you get off. You explain to the tourists how exactly to get to Dighton Griffith School as one of the best schools in Barbados, right?
And what stood out for me is when we were asking the kids questions about the different things in Barbados. We asked her a question about what was the national dish of Barbados, and the children did not know. In fact, one child said chafet. And while we acknowledge and we recognize that chafet is part of our natural Barbadianness, you know, really and truly, cuckoo and flying fish is still the national dish of Barbados. And so we really and truly want our kids to know and understand and get the idea that our history is important as a Barbadian people. We need to take that program into the marketplace, into the communities, to the vendors, because they all make up the tourism industry.
Hi, good day.
Today,
What kind of stuff you want?
I don't know, what flavors do you have?
Okay, right. I got coconut, mauby, tarragon, sour, pineapple, orange, cherry, blueberry lime, grape, pink, grapefruit, coffee, or lemonade. Anything you're taking it? Hi, good day. My name is Dexter the Snorkel Man, and I'm tourism.
I am tourism. Tourism is our business. Let's play our part. No. Tourism is my business. I must play my part. No, not anymore, it isn't. It isn't my business anymore. You see, after more than 25 years, I am tourism. I must be tourism. Tourism is in my conversations, my prayers, my other associations. If an introduction is to be made, invariably it is said that I work with tourism. It must be in my veins. Tourism became the #1 foreign exchange earner maybe 20 years or so ago, beating out King Sugar. I must be excellent. Barbados was the gem of the Caribbean, the New York of the Caribbean. I must have been excellent. I'm still here. I'm not in the past, and I'm certainly not dead. Therefore, I'm still existent. I am still tourism. I must be the gem again, the diamond, you say, with the perfect cut to reflect the purest of light. I must be excellent. I will be excellent. I'm not playing. I am tourism.
What I Am Tourism is just a really an updated 21st century version of Tourism is Our Business, Let's Play Our Part.
Back in the day, Tourism is Our Business, Let's Play Our Part was the campaign. At that time, I think we were able to reach the Barbadian population in terms of understanding how important tourism was. However, that campaign somehow did not take it the next step in terms of giving people some guidelines and some steps as to how they can play an important part.
The way they perceived tourism in the past, when it ran on 2 separate tracks, or I'm here and the tourism industry is there benefiting a certain element of people. When we tell Barbadians to proclaim with pride that I am tourism, it is us taking ownership of the tourism industry. It is us understanding that tourism now is about showcasing Barbadianness in its entirety with pride, where it is showcasing our culture, our history, our food, our communities, all our wonderful natural and historic assets, showcasing our cultural patrimony, showcasing Barbados. So when Barbados now sees tourism, because that is what we are showcasing to the world, they can see themselves reflected in the Barbados tourism industry.
This is pride, unashamed of who we are inside.
When I was first approached to write the jingle, an overwhelming sense of patriotism came over me, and I thought about what Barbados means to me. And the opening line itself says, this is pride, unashamed of who we are inside. And as a country, we have to believe that we have a fantastic tourism product. If we don't believe in what we have, why should anybody else believe in what we have to offer them? And so I think that's where it begins for us, and where it began for me, and knowing and believing that Barbados is a fantastic tourism product, a beautiful country, talented people, friendly people we are, and we have something to offer the world.
So tell the world, Barbados we're moving,
I think we're now focusing with the I Am Tourism campaign on assisting our Barbadian population in understanding how you can get directly involved in tourism. It allows you to see the role you can play and how you can play that role and how meaningful your role, no matter how small, is to this important thing we call tourism.
My name is Mario Knight.
And my name is Joshua Bonas.
And we designed the I Am Tourism logo. When we were approached to do the logo, we saw it as an honor to do it because it is something for country. And when they came to us with the concept, I Am Tourism, we tried to figure out what would that mean, what does that mean to us as Bajans. We try to take aspects from what we feel or know a Bajan is. So we took from our culture, and we took from the streets and the fish market and the top band and those kind of things to add a little cultural aspect into it. And you'll see that we add children and police officers, because we're trying to cater to all different levels of society. We're speaking to Barbadians, and in doing this, I would like to think that every Barbadian that sees it, whether home or abroad, that they will see a part of themselves in the logo, and it'll be like a call to action, because I am tourism, so that they will see and understand that, we are all part of the tourism product.
I am tourism because I understand the importance of tourism to the Barbadian economy. We all are tourism. We all have a different role to play, and as different as those roles may be, when they come together, they all help us to make tourism work, and by extension make Barbados work. I am tourism, you are tourism, we are all tourism Barbados.
I believe that the I Am Tourism campaign is the perfect initiative to bring all Barbadians, all the people of Barbados, to a point where tourism is second nature to them. I am tourism, you are tourism, we are all tourism.
Tourism is not just about creating foreign exchange to pay our bills. Tourism is also about creating friendships, bonds, tolerance and understanding amongst the citizens of the world. And when we talk about tourism, we talk about people from all over the world coming to Barbados.
Absolutely.
And we could be sitting here and I'm a Barbadian talking to somebody from Italy, from
Sweden,
Morocco,
yes.
from Sweden, from Africa, from Europe. Somebody who we may never get to travel to their country, but we're able to sit together and break bread.
And that in itself is an education.
And create friendships. And that is the most amazing side of tourism, and we need to talk about that more than we do.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
Not just dollar signs and foreign exchange, being a foreign exchange earner or a revenue earner or a creator of employment. Those are extremely important. But on the flip side, tourism brings a quality of life, tourism brings an understanding, tourism builds bridges and tears down walls. One that gives back more than it takes, and one that is of, for, and by the Barbadian people. That is the only way tourism is going to work for us all, be successful, and we will remain a competitive destination.
So which means that we, as a people, every single Barbadian needs to see themselves reflected in a tourism mirror. And that is when we'll become I Am Tourism.
Marsha, I remember the day that you all came to me with the idea about going on the garrison and spelling out the names, the words, I am tourism, with over 1,000 school children. And I remember asking you, are you crazy?
Yes.
Like, no way. That sounds like totally out to left field. And I was, and then I stopped and thought about it and said, but what am I doing? This is what we're about. We're doing tourism differently. The BTPA is about pushing the envelope, taking risks, doing things differently. And the only way we will ever, the thing about innovation is, you have to have some series of failures in order to have a success.
Absolutely.
And if you don't take risks, you will never be able to take it to the next level. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? team, go for it.
Lift off.
My role in the I Am Tourism program so far has been as a communications officer. So I worked with Crispin Hackett creating the campaign. It was ingenious when I first heard about it, and it was amazing to come here and see it in action. We always knew that we wanted to have a strong level of community involvement. So seeing the children out here on the garrison by our 50th anniversary monument was something that I will never forget.
And I would tell you, when I saw bus after bus after bus filled with school kids, not just school kids, but excited school kids, you know, getting off, and there were about 1,000 children and about 200 teachers having to manage all of that. And then the Defense Force, the Barbados Defense Force, really and truly blessed my heart. And you can talk to me about what you saw with them. Yeah.
Marsha, what I saw on that day, I've been in tourism for quite some time, and I told you the element that's always been missing is the youth. And to know that the BTPA stepped outside of the box and said, you know what, we are involved, we're doing it differently. We're involving the school children of this nation. And these little babas piling out of those buses in their little uniforms, excited, exuberant, like they kind of didn't quite know. Some of them did, some of them didn't. They just knew they were there. And as I stood there and I got emotional looking at it, and I knew at that moment we were creating history.
Yes.
On that day, and we were going to leave a legacy that will not be bested for many, many years to come. And as I stood there and watched the Defense Force, those wonderful, wonderful men, the fact that they rose up and they saw the importance of what we were doing. Those guys came out and marked out that name, I Am Tourism. They marshaled those little babas like soldiers. Because I was standing there, I didn't quite know how, I was there still with fingers and toes crossed, not quite sure, okay, they're here, what now? What are we going to do? The Defense Force jumped in and they marshaled those little troops down onto the pasture. The Defense Force mapped out, shaped those little school children. It was like watching a national military parade with those little school children. And the excitement, it was a hot day, but the Lord never leaves us.
That's
one thing
correct.
I've learned with this job, He is always by our side. The sun went behind the clouds, so it was not as hot as it should have been or could have been, because some of them started to wilt. But because it went behind the clouds, that kind of saved the day and bought us like about an extra 15-20 minutes. And just standing there when it all came together with the teachers, everybody screaming, the kids screaming with their flags, the children knowing that they were a part of history and knowing that history was tourism history, and they will take this moment with them for the rest of their lives. Marsha, since I've sat in the seat of CEO in this job, I think that was probably one of the defining moments in this job for me.
Adrian Loveridge from the Rediscover Dining Programme, I Am Tourism.
Hi, I'm Adrian Beckles, representing Barbados Immigration Department, and I Am Tourism.
Hi, my name is Natasha Ford, Fire Prevention Officer with the Barbados Fire Service, and I Am Tourism.
I'm Joanne Grant from Turtle Beach Resort, and I Am Tourism.
Sean Phillips, Sanitation Service Authority, I Am Tourism.
I'm Paul Altman from Altman Real Estate, and I Am Tourism.
My name is Shanice Taylor. I'm from the Barbados Tourism Product Authority. I Am Tourism.
I am Winsley Allen of the Barbados Tourism Product Authority, and I Am Tourism.
I am Jeffrey Roach, CEO of the British Cruise Terminals, and I Am Tourism.
It has been a while since we've had a pure tourism awareness campaign, but it's taken us a while to get here, but I'm very satisfied that we are, in fact, at the right place and doing the correct thing. So I am, pleased that we have got here, and I want to, of course, wish everyone involved in this campaign all the very best going forward.
Hi,
We're Rum and Coke.
And we want you to know that all of us play a part in tourism.
I am 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 tourism.
And I am tourism.
Tourism is our business.
Let's all play a part.
A message from the Barbados Tourism Product Authority.
Barbados, we want to thank you for viewing the I Am Tourism campaign launch, and we invite you to partner with us as we take the I Am Tourism campaign to the next level.
Barbados, let's continue to do tourism differently. We can't wait to continue making this wonderful journey with you.
This is pride, unashamed of who we are inside. Through the struggles and storms we've survived. See the strides we have made to our progress today. Now all of Barbados can say, this is my rock, this is my island, this is my life, and I am tourism.